It's real. This is BBC Radio 1 with Lamac live, and a man like Dirty looks from the boys in the hood, bringing the new step, the two-step. Sounds of the UK garage underground. New sound, new generation. Dark and jazzy, bashy. Heavy B-lines, PlayStation beats, bedroom breaks. It's all real from the street. So, yo, it's real.
The UK garage scene has gone underground again for 2003.
Well, the garage scene in general is going down and downhill. They're now calling what people used to know as UK garage urban house. Raves ain't about no more.
There's a lot less clubs that are willing to have garage music. It's sort of forced into a lot of smaller clubs and bars.
This new sound is coming through. Everyone seems to be in it. Everyone's pushing the sound. A lot of DJs are playing the beats. So hopefully it'll go more that way and stay underground rather than come commercial like garage did and now it's dead.
Hey yo, whoa, yo, they don't know. Big on the man like Jada Flex. It's all about Jada Flex. For the next 30 minutes you will hear new school undergrounds with Jada Flex. It's real.
When someone mentions UK garage, you probably think of the government panicking about trigger-happy MCs and scared promoters who cancel raves for fear of body bags. On the other hand, you might think of chart-friendly acts like Mystique, Also Solid Romeo, oiling up his naked chest. Oh yeah, and enough champagne. Perhaps that's why punters of East London's hottest underground garage night Forward don't like calling it garage.
People don't want to be associated with garage and don't like the name garage. So that's why we've got to change the name. We haven't really got a name ready for it at the moment. Some people call it dubstep, some people call it underground breaks.
So progressive, futuristic London underground beats.
Some people like to call it 8-bar breaks, new step, whatever.
I don't know if this is garage, I don't know what this is.
You've got your grime, but this is like a split off from grime.
We could call it a forward sound. In fact, do you know any other names?
It's just underground bass music.
Buzzing bass lines, banging breaks, grime. If this doesn't sound like UK garage you've heard before, it ain't. Forget the stereotypes that were two-step, this is the new step, baby. Chantelle Fiddy writes about garage for Tense magazine and co-runs ukmusicworldwide.com.
UK garage has progressed a lot over the last couple of years. We've seen the 4/4 more vocal side of things really being put on hold.
Hot new producer, Plastic Man.
I don't know why, but it just seemed that when things started getting a little bit more heavy, probably about 2000, a few tracks flying about then that were instrumental, which became quite big. It just seemed that everyone wanted to make the next big instrumental, and it just snowballed from there.
But at the same time while that's been on hold, there's been two subgenres which have really been growing parallel alongside each other, which is the dubstep, sub-low, breaky side of the garage spectrum, and also you have the 8-bar, grimy, underground side.
Hatcha, producer and A&R man for Big Apple Records.
Clap your hands, hold each other's hands, vibe, do you know what I mean? It's back to the old raving days. You go out, you have a good old drink, you get mashed up, that's what the weekend's about.
I'd say the most popular strain of garage is the MC-led garage, or the instrumental, grimy garage, which MCs can then flow over.
Stop that, get that, what? Get that, got that, what? It's gonna knock you out, take that, what? Big fat black, what's that?
But there's also a growing scene with regard to the breakbeat side of the spectrum.
Plastic Man.
There's the hip-hop based sort of side of UK garage, which Roll Deep and Cruise are sort of dealing with still. But then you've got like less black music sounding garage, which is real sort of techno influence. The forward sound that's sort of pushing through at the moment, that sound is without a doubt more influenced by techno and breaks.
You won't find any strings or nicey vocals on this one. The new step takes its inspiration from a rawer sound.
In 2000, I suppose, they had tracks like Pulse X turning up, which renovated the scene a little bit.
Musical my brain up on the map.
When that track came along, it was so simple but effective that a lot of producers sat there and thought, I can do that. And even young people just sitting in their bedrooms just making tracks, thinking I can make a track like that. It just opened the door for new talent to come through and have a go.
Chantelle Fiddy.
Pulse X by Musical Mob was probably the first track that made people start talking about 8-bar. The first time I heard it, it was infectious, really, really catchy, but when you thought about it, there was nothing to it. And that, I think, influenced a lot of people to try and underproduce their tunes, because before that, a lot of garage was very, very intricate, and suddenly people started taking it just to the basics.
Now, if you've been hanging out at any record stores or checked out tunes like I Love You by Dizzy Rascal, you might have heard the new UK garage sound being called 8-bar, Plastic Man.
8-bar is supposed to be a track which changes continually after every 8 bars in the tune, basically made up of 2 very simple patterns.
The only UK MC on the Radio 1 playlist right now, Dizzy Rascal.
The 8-bar thing is mainly an instrumental thing. People don't normally vocal them. On Pat Radio, they MC on top of MCs. It's easier and clearer than, say, a garage song with loads of melodies and harmonies and bare changes in it, because it focuses more on the music. But the 8-bar thing is plain and simple for the MC to just be heard and be clear.
I love you.
The 8-bar rhythms allowed producers to take 2 steps back from the cheesy vocals and reassess what the upfront sound should be. For a while, it all got a bit simple, but recently producers have been turning up the bass. Forget the 8-bar, the underground is dubstep.
I think the differences between the two musics are very clear. One is sort of song-based with vocals, lots of chord changes, and the dubstep really just stays on one kind of vibe.
That's Arthur Smith, one half of underground production duo Mentor and D&D. Now, you probably won't have heard of him before, but you will have heard one of his tunes. He produced Daniel Bedingfield's Gotta Get Through This. And if you're wondering why he's putting on that stupid voice, wouldn't you if your protege had started making records like this? Anyway, back to proper music. What is dubstep? Let's hear it from the godfather of UKG himself, Zed Bias.
We've been merging dub and 2-step, 8-bar sort of beat structures and dub influences, real heavy bass lines.
Hatcha from Big Apple Records.
It's a dark sound, it's a jazzy sound.
Jazzy sound!
It's a techno-y kind of sound, it's a reggae sound.
Reggae sound!
It's all got the 2-step swing with it all. If you like garage, you should like the sound really, you just got to be open-minded, do you know what I mean?
Chantelle Fiddy from Tense Magazine.
It's very, very rare to have vocals in the music. There's a few tracks that have MCs on them, but 9 times out of 10 the tracks will be instrumental, very, very bass-led, all about getting those fat B-lines in there.
It's those bare bass lines which give the new breed of UK garage its distinctive sound. Plastic Man.
People really like loud bass lines. You can't just feel the bass, you have to hear it as well.
Sheffield producer Oris J created the dubstep anthem, Said the Spider, and it rocked clubs wherever it was played.
I happen to like spiders.
Dubstep is more like, say where my music's more orientated a little bit like drum and bass, dubstep was a little bit more coming from like the ragga dub things. I think that's where that gets its sound from. It's like not fully breaks, but it's not fully garage. At the same time, it's just whatever you want it to be.
So this new garage, right? It's dark, it's got loads of bass, but instead of strings, breakbeats are where it's at. It's that voice again, Mentor.
I think there is some crossovers coming in now between the break scene and the dubstep scene.
At the moment in the UK breakbeat scene, there's a kind of garagey flavour, a strain of breakbeat that came from the 2-step end that's now making waves in the breakbeat arena.
Rennie Pilgrim, producer, label manager and international voice of the breakbeat scene. He's worked with old school producers like Decline on breakbeat garage and reckons a new school is good for both his scene and ours.
Breakbeat selector.
I think it's introduced breakbeat to a new audience and brought some of them away from other scenes and the 4 on the floor stuff, and it's made the scene grow by converting people into breakbeat. So yeah, it's been a good thing.
Right now rolling like this.
Yo, you see all this new step jazz, this new school stuff, this new generation stuff? The people then really need to know who is behind the production. Who is it? Who's making this stuff? Big up the Hatcha.
We're not doing none of the stuff in the big, massive 30, 40 grand studios or nothing. The sounds that we're pushing, we're just doing them in like minimum studios that we're just doing in our bedroom.
Plastic Man.
Software's become so much better now that you don't need to spend like 20 grand on a studio. You just need to get a decent pair of monitors, a good amp, and you just need to have a good, decent running PC or Mac.
Z-Bias.
PCs are so cheap and the music packages are making it easier and easier to make music on, and you're getting CD quality minimum now, you know. Anyone can have a go, and the ones that take it seriously will come through the ranks.
Guitar bands like White Stripes are always banging on about how they won't record music onto computers. But come on you guys, it's 2003, not 1973. Cheap computers are where it's at, and it's samplers, not 6 strings for the new breed of bedroom producers. Dizzy Rascal.
There's a lot of people just on their computers making tunes. Like, it's a generation where being on a computer and programming beats is second nature to a lot of youth right now. I started I must have been about 13, 14, just in school doing it. Fruity Loops is a popular one, innit? A lot of youths that are just, they know how to use samples and that, they know what they're doing.
Oris J.
It doesn't really matter if you're using Ray VJ, it doesn't matter if you're using Cubase, it doesn't matter, the end result is that you make music, and if it's good music, it doesn't matter what you made it on. There are major players who have actually made big tunes using PlayStations.
Hold up. PlayStations, we set 17-year-old producer Benga a challenge. Make us an 8-bar tune in your bedroom using nothing but a PS1 and a £10 CD called Music 2000.
Alright, this is Benga, and I'm showing people how to make a tune on Music 2000 for the PlayStation. First of all, you need to load a kick and snare like this. After that, what we're getting nowadays is a loop of 8, paste that down. That's an 8-bar. Now I'm getting hi-hats. After that, put them down where your beats are. You got to loop that so it's 8 bars as well. And now you need a bass line. Just all sort of acoustic sounds. Might not be your type of thing, but you can paste your bass line anywhere you want, but you've got to try make a rhythm that goes to your beat, and you get a bass line like this. Just make another bass line for your second part of your 8-bar. You've got 2 bass lines. Switch. And that's how you just make a tune on Music 2000 for the PlayStation.
And it really is as easy as that. I mean, who needs guitars these days? But whatever you do, just don't tell Radiohead. Software like Music 2000 has got a whole new generation into making bedroom beats. But it might surprise you just how young these hot producers are. For some of these guys, the old school means primary school. Benga is 17, but he's been making tunes since he was 12.
Me coming so young into the scene is just all good things. That it's just what I've liked from when I was young, like the dubstep sort of scene, where I used to hear Wookie and things like that.
For these young people that are hearing these tracks, they're sitting at home thinking, yeah, I can imagine so-and-so MCing over this track, this is how I'm going to make it. You're going to make a track that you're going to hear them play for yourself and be pleased that you've heard them playing it. I get sent tracks every week by young guys like from ages 12 up to my age at 20, just really like experimenting with their equipment.
It doesn't really matter how your age anymore. Like, I mean, a lot of people say, oh, there's little kids are making tunes and they don't sound right, but I've heard big man make tunes and they don't sound right as well.
These beats are the sound of suburbia, made by people far removed from the ghetto, and in a shock move for the garage scene outside of the M25 Orbital 2. Plastic Man.
People are calling Croydon the UK's answer to Detroit, because it's such a close-knit community that I pretty much know everyone around here who's producing tracks for that sound, like Hatcha, Scream, Benga. We're all friends, like we all see each other out when we're out. Pretty much all the nights that go on down here, more often than not, more than one of us will be playing at it.
Producer Oris J.
I don't think in this day and age it's a London thing anymore. I think it's a UK thing. Got a boy over in Leicester called Lombardo, and he moves with a guy called Dubchild, and they're making some amazing tunes at the moment.
I would say like dubstep, we're more a suburb sort of thing, because like the attitude there is different attitude. Even though the music's so dark, it's more people they're just listening to the music, and there's just no attitude at all.
You've got Mark One from the Virus Syndicate, and he's from Manchester. There's like Zed Bias, and he's from like Milton Keynes. So I don't actually think it's a London thing.
This is Jada Flex, baby, checking out the sounds of the underground UK garage on the New Step for Radio 1's Lamac Live. And if you're feeling what you're hearing so far, don't forget you can catch me each and every Wednesday night for your underground knowledge, hitting you off with the freshest UK cuts on our sister station, 1Extra. So far you've heard tunes dominated by bass and breaks, but it ain't all like that. There's garage with a lighter feel, like East London's Medicine, the producer who's just released his first single, We Spray, and it's live in session.
Yo. Radio 1, we're doing this, slewing this. M17, E5, you know. Listen up, yeah, we spray. May your cross P, don't ramp, we spray. How do you want the MCs, we spray. Medicine Bob, get live, yo, we spray. I'm a renegade till I see a better day, spray. May your cross P, don't ramp, we spray. How do you want the MCs, we spray. Medicine Bob, get live, yo, we spray. I'm a renegade till I see a better day. Yo, I pull out things like Red Bull, give man wings. Everybody sprung with the scorpion stick, step in my ring. Got paint for the canvas, spread limbs like flora all over the atlas. Madness, what I dealing at the smalls concealing. But then I hit you with a shotty high beaming. You don't want to test frost kid in the cloak. Cannibal your boat, then I blurt with a life thingy. More earth than your bingies. Renegade individuals, fossils, study on the lyricals. Try these individuals, crushing minerals. Leave MCs with it like a visual.
A live cut of We Spray, one of the first singles from Casual Records. But wait a minute, if no one wants to hear UKG, why are Casual risking this as one of their first releases? DJ, A&R man and label boss Ross Allen.
Well, I first discovered Medicine through that thing of going into the studio complexes, stumbling into loads of other people, and the guy in the next studio was Gabriel from Medicine. It was the first thing that we got on the label, just because the timing coincided quite nicely. It's just interesting production, you know. To be honest, I never liked garage. When the UK garage thing first kicked off, I just thought it sounded like badly produced American house records, and I just never clicked with it. It just sounded kind of cheap and low budget, but I think, you know, it's just evolved.
Cash are getting props from Star Press and majors, just like the first wave of UK garage did back in the day. It's funny how things go round in circles, isn't it?
Oi, Lamac, I'm talking to you. This is Dirty Dogs. Where can the people find this new step, this new school stuff, this new sounds? Big up the DJ Benga.
Forward is a place where all people just gather up for dark beat, underground, two-step, and just listen, and it's not really many places you can go around town to hear all the dark music.
Forward is a monthly happening where dubheads new and old hang out to road test their latest plates. Everyone we talked to was heading down there, so Lamac Live followed them to a small East London club to check it out.
My name's Neil and I do Forward with Sarah and Katie. It started about 2 years ago, I think, and it started to kind of fill a niche which we felt was empty for this type of music.
My name is Sarah, aka Soulja, and I'm one of the promoters here of the club. The residents are producers, so the idea was to follow more of the drum and bass scene where DJs get through because they are producing music rather than they're like a celebrity DJ. The garage scene at the time was every DJ was playing more or less the same records. You could practically leave them with the same record box and then just share it. The idea for here was that people played dub plates, music that they specifically were making or that they were into.
They are drawing from dub and they're drawing from drum and bass and they're drawing from techno and reggae and again from world music, and it's like an anthropology lesson.
Yeah, I'm Mark One, I'm a producer and I make underground breaks, new style. The whole Forward sound is just more underground, suburban sort of thing. You don't get dressed up, it's not pretentious.
Hi, I'm Emma Feline, I'm a DJ, I play on Choice FM, twice as nice. The vibe here is wicked. Everyone, you can tell everyone is so into the music, and that's what it's about. It's not about dressing up and wearing bling bling clothes. You can wear your trainers, you can wear your jeans, come down and just get into the tunes, really.
As we found, Forward isn't your normal garage night. Forget Bollinger and Cristal. People prefer lager to liqueur, and there's not one designer label in sight.
It's like tricky. I'm hot round here, but my name ain't Nelly. Every day on the news, see my face on the telly on the top 10. Most wanted this for my crimes as a lyrical arsonist.
My name's DJ Chef 18 from South London. Well, Forward is just about the most underground beats that you can get. Just pure dub plates, that's what it's about, it's just pure dub, it's the freshest beats.
Most of the tunes you hear are just all dub plates, they're not released, it's really about being a train spotter. We're trying to create more of a vibe, so it's less about, oh, that dub plate's by so-and-so, and hopefully people will just come here to experience the vibe.
There's always been that kind of industry vibe, but really industry's a pretty loose term for loads of people that are into garage or make garage or, you know, DJ or whatever.
At the end of the day, it's just like a family. Everyone who comes there knows each other. It's an industry thing. It's an industry thing.
The whole thing with garage was that it didn't have a community. It was sort of like every man for itself, whereas here we're trying to create a kind of community.
For
producer and DJ Mark 1, there's another reason why Forward is such a good place to spend a night out.
A lot of industry people will come down as a good way to meet other people in the industry, get your tunes out. But you see, with Forward, you could come down here, you could be 10 years old, as long as you've got a good tune, give it out, people are going to listen to it and play it. People come down here and give me tunes, so like, if you haven't got any money and you can't get any tunes, come down Forward and you get a load. It's all good.
My name's Jed, coming from all the way from Harrow. I find that this is the only place I can come to catch these kind of tunes.
I don't know about any other dubstep nights around. I think just Forward is like, because it's the pioneer and the starter of everything.
All the big producers, all the DJs, everyone comes because this is the night.
You have to come, you know. If you don't come, you've missed something. You're not going to get it anywhere else.
Forward is more like a youth club than a nightclub. It's a place where the scene congregates to swap tunes, tips and hang out. DJs played their own tunes. Nobody's making money off other people's music here. Not to say they aren't normal punters, it's just every other person we met was a producer. Hatcha.
There's not a big demand out there for the music at the moment because then the industry's quiet in every way. So the stuff we are making, we're just playing it for ourselves. When we go out and getting bookings, we're playing the stuff that just us have made. So that people are like, yeah, we'll book Hatcha because he's the only one playing that kind of sound, and we'll book Horace because he's only playing that sound, and we'll book Jada because he's playing that. So it's good. You should come and check out Forward. Every DJ is different.
Plastic Man.
The Forward sound is getting hosted at Room 2s at drum and bass raves, techno raves, electro raves, stuff like that. So it does go to show that it's probably moving away from that.
The Forward scene may be small, but it was an important stepping stone for one major player, Chantelle Fiddy.
Miss Dynamite was one of the original resident MCs at Forward when it first started. She was still resident up until she released her first couple of singles. Her most recent appearance at Forward was about 3 or 4 months ago, that she was down there with a 20-strong entourage, still doing her thing, but the music's changed a lot from when she started.
Producer Oris J has also injected a bit of dynamite into his productions with one of the hottest underground specials at the moment. It's a club banger and it works, trust.
Mic check, Miss Dynamite and Oris J.
I've done a track called Test This with Miss Dynamite.
I never step to the mic to preach. I step to the mic to teach. I see them I forget. This one, you know what? On the rhythm I forget all this. I see them I forget this one, this. On the rhythm I forget all this.
It's probably like as underground as you're gonna get it sort of thing, this tune, yeah, but like Dizzy Rascal I Love You was a proper underground tune and that went overground, so should be big things for that tune.
Big things indeed, for real. Oris looks like one producer who could cross over into the mainstream, but here are some others you should be looking out for.
Hottest producers at the moment, I'd say Plastic Man, Benga and Scream.
Of the sort of Forward sound, you've got people like Oris J, Mark 1's coming through at the moment. LB's always got something up his sleeve.
I'd say Lombardo and Dubchild.
Benny Hill and the Horsepower sound's really going down well. And hopefully, like my name, Plastic Man, should pop up a bit in the future.
There's too many to sort of name, but I'd say there's enough good producers to keep this scene going for as long as it needs to go for.
All good, baby. And if you want my tip on who to check out, I recommend Dubchild and Lombardo. Because the quality of his label, Fragile Beats, is definitely running things. So now you know, it's a good look for the new step in 2003. And if the main players have their way, underground is where it will stay. So keep it to yourself. Arthur from Mentor.
I think it's a good thing that it stays underground. I don't think I'd take any steps towards stopping it going overground, but, you know, I wouldn't help it on its way.
Hatcha from Big Apple Records.
When it becomes commercial, that's when you get all the people that just go out to cause trouble. The commercial garage scene was blinding 3 years ago, but as it's become more and more busier, you know, you get all sorts of people in there, and there's people in there that don't want to party, they're just there to make money and do whatever. So too many people under one roof, you're going to have people that don't like people. So if you can't come out and party, I don't see why they bother even coming out, do you know what I mean?
Benga.
I don't think it will go overground as such. It's basically travel like drum and bass. Like back in the old school days, it was big. Then the garage came through because people from drum and bass was moving into garage, saying that there's too much attitude in drum and bass.
Chantelle Fiddy.
I think it could influence mainstream, but it's not pop enough. And there's also no vocals at the moment, and you do need a catchy vocal normally to secure mainstream success.
Ross Allen from Casual Records.
I think the garage that is played at Forward and that kind of thing, I really like it. I find some of it a bit too dark, but I mean tracks like Mentor, Sound of the Future, some of the stuff that Hatcha does, I like it in parts. As a DJ, I play those records. As an A&R person, I'd rather sign an MC and have one of those lot produce it. And you know, I've seen Roll Deep and Wiley playing out, and they play all those records, but they just get MCs on top of them. You either buy those kind of Forward type, minimalist, interesting productions, and you get MCs over them, or you get someone to front it, or a couple of people to front it, and you kind of put them beats underneath it. Now I'd rather put the vocal-led version out and put a dub on the B-side, and then you got the best of both worlds.
What I do think will happen though is it will go very much like drum and bass has, where the export market is just massive and you don't have to depend on having chart success in the UK to sell 4,000 to 10,000, 15,000 units.
In a bizarre twist, drum and bass has gone all sing-along, and this kind of garage has kept it dark, no vocals. Z Bias.
It's got to happen organically, you know, you can't force it to happen, and I think that's why garage took the turn it did, because it was forced to go down certain avenues a little bit too early. Drum and bass is a great example of something that's built on good foundations, and it wasn't done in 5 minutes.
Oris J.
I mean, a few years ago you wouldn't think sort of like drum and bass would have got in the charts, but it has. So, and that's just not because the tunes are cheesy or not because of any other reason, but they were that popular in the underground, it had to break the barrier and go to the overground.
I think there has been a lot of hype added to this scene, as in people think it's a lot bigger than it actually is, because it is very, very small at the moment. That's not to say it won't grow though, but for me as a journalist, I have to say that 9 times out of 10, the stuff I'm hearing, I probably wouldn't review in a UK Garage column. For me, the stuff that is UK Garage and the UK Garage that I feel people are listening to is still the East kind of sound, the grimier, you know, minimalistic instrumentals, or the MC-led tracks.
The scene may be small and no one can actually decide whether it's garage or not, but for one thing, it's definitely prolific. Every day, new producers are burning CDs. Dizzy Rascal's stabbing in Napa has thrust garage back into the spotlight for the wrong reasons, but trust me, the new step ain't all about that. I'll leave the last words to garage godfather Z Bias and our resident MC Dirty Dugs.
It's about the music, the next tune. You don't want to know what the tune's going to be, basically. You know, go back 2 or 3 years. We got to a stage where all the DJs were playing out the same bag. The same DJs were playing the same tunes, the same promos from the same record companies, and it all got a bit boring. At least now we're going to get a dub plate culture back, albeit a CDR culture. The music's become exciting again.
Look now. Look now. Now you've heard the new step. It's BBC Radio 1 live with a new generation, the new style of flavour. Dirty Dugs say wow. When me come, weed off a bun down, mic off a bun, place off a bun down, on a don't know. Dugs are gonna make hands a blow, man I fi collect on you know. And when we come, so on a waffle shout out, bow card Dugs are the star for the show. Now can you beat that, Lamac? And you beat that, Lamac? And you beat that, Lamac? And you beat that, Lamac?